Good afternoon, millennials. Welcome back to the Morning Toast. This is your third episode for the month of November, and it is a very special annual episode of Thanksgiving stories. These are the Fast Five stories that you can, should, maybe, or could not share with your Thanksgiving table if you want to be a thought leader, if you want to be prepared for conversation, or if you just need subjects to talk about so that you guys aren't fighting the whole time.
Or like sometimes you have Thanksgiving with like people you don't see for a really long time, and after like 10 minutes of like, how's school? That shit, all the classic conversation topics run out really quickly, and Thanksgiving is a long day because like there's the prep, the football, the meal, the dessert. It can be quite a long adventure.
Yes, so we're here to get you through it with just some biz news stories, just interesting factoids, and then we'll also, as best as we can, like give you a couple hot takes to share with the table, like for FTX. Here's things you could say, questions you could ask, jokes you could make to contribute to your Thanksgiving table. So hopefully you're listening and you're on your way to a wonderful warm meal, or you're cooking at home for your family and you're listening to your favorite podcast and hoping these girls are going to help you get through the holiday, even though I think that the holidays are so wonderful. Spending time with family is so wonderful.
Not for everyone. Like, we're very blessed. Some people like fucking hate their families and they have the worst families. So that is not the case for everyone.
I would just hope that those people like aren't spending Thanksgiving with those family members.
You know, like, your chosen
protect
family.
Your peace.
Protect your peace. I couldn't agree more.
I hope you're not embarking on a torturous Thanksgiving.
No. Also special.
But if you are, we're here.
Yeah, like maybe you're literally hiding in the bathroom listening to this episode while like family gathers in the living room, in which case, welcome. You're safe here.
You are safe.
We also are filming today's episode because I happen to be in studio. So you're getting a little video, a little audio. You can choose to listen to this episode however you feel would protect your peace the most.
Yes.
And you're wearing a bun.
I am. I put my hair up after the show, and then I was just like, I don't want to wear it down and like be flipping it the whole time. So I'm feeling it. We'll see how it looks. And I'm also not wearing my big headphones because... Why don't I wear the
earrings?
I don't like how these look. I think they look really ugly. But right now, I just want to be like comfortable and able to chat with my girlie. And the videos, you know, I don't even see the cameras.
No, when you're like constantly being berated by cameras, like day, noon, night, it can be like something you become desensitized to.
And you have to learn to ignore them. Otherwise, you just cannot maintain your sanity.
100%. So I'm excited. You know, I actually wanted to record this episode because I've been meaning to like figure out what the fuck is going on. Like, what is FTX? Like, I literally, that's what everyone's talking about, and I couldn't understand it less. And I actually read a helpful article on it, and I feel like I have like a few questions remaining, but I definitely understand what's going on now. Like, I didn't even know what FTX was, who SBF was.
Yeah, SBF is a person, FTX is a company.
It's SBF's company.
Yes, I didn't understand either, but some of the stories that are coming out, I mean, it's ripe for movie making. And I feel like we won't fully understand it until the movie or series comes out, because some of these concepts, like I didn't understand crypto before, so how am I going to understand the fall of crypto?
No, that's wherein lies the issue. It's like people are still confused by crypto, so now there's like a confusing crypto story. But I actually think like in order to understand the story, you don't really need to understand crypto.
No, but I think the other issue is that the people who are responsible for reporting this story, so like the business writers, finance writers, are the same people who propped up and were obsessed with SBF this whole time and like didn't even realize what was actually happening. So it's like, so now we're going to trust you again to tell us what happened when you don't know your ass from your elbow?
That's such an interesting and good point.
So we'll do what we can. Also, Claudia and I were joking because I love Bari Weiss's newsletter. Mm-hmm. It's called Common Sense. And she does, I think she sends out like one a day. I've never tabulated. But they're really interesting, like thoughtful pieces by various different like writers, doctors, professors. Like she has people who freelance for her. And they had a really good piece about FTX. So that's what I was reading at first to learn more about FTX, but I still needed to do some more stuff because also that came out like a week ago and a lot of other stuff has come out since.
Yeah.
But this episode is brought to you by Common Sense.
No, I just recently read her newsletter. It's like not always, usually even written by her. She has like guest writers, and she had a guest writer that was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
She's like the editor at large of her own paper.
The Kareem Abdul-Jabbar one was so good. It was talking about like anti-Semitism, and from his POV, like coming at it from the Black community, but also from the Muslim community, which gets confused with Nation of Islam. And like Nation of Islam is responsible for all these conspiracy theories, but like that's not the same as Muslim. So it was actually like really helpful and very powerful.
You told me it's on my list of things
It
to
was
read.
really
I'm
good.
really excited.
Not
and
us being intellects.
Intellects. It's a really good also moment to plug her newsletter because it's common sensible, and if you want more things in which to discuss or think about or alternate points of view, I would just recommend it. It covers all different categories, and I've gotten a lot from it over the years.
Yeah.
So, are you ready to get into everything?
I'm so ready.
Without further ado, here are the fast 5 stories that you need to know to get through Thanksgiving dinner. Hump on that turkey.
Now we can chomp. I also love recording Patreon episodes because I don't have to read the ads. When I tell you the ads like give me such anxiety during the episode, like timing it out right so that it doesn't feel like too much, or like everyone's getting enough shine, and that, you know, the toasters can actually listen and get the codes for the really good companies. It's not to like make everything about me. It's a really like it's a burden.
No, and you're selling. Like,
Right,
selling the
service
service. Like,
is selling.
Are you selling? How is the product sounding? Like, is anybody wanting to buy what you're selling?
I still
like,
have to be funny and charismatic, but also like
you go from
logistical.
being like a podcaster to a saleswoman.
You get me.
And the transition is tough.
The transition is tough. I couldn't agree more. It's like flowing seamlessly from like podcaster to ad salesman back to podcaster is not something that any podcaster can do.
No, and most podcasters don't do live reads.
Right, they pre-record.
They have like a day where they record all their ads and then they plug them in. But your girlies are on the fly, and that's what you get.
We're on the fly.
We're on the fly. So right when you get to your Thanksgiving table, I think you should sit down and you should say to everyone who got the booster.
Oh my God, that's funny. Yeah, like let's sit down. Let's divide the table immediately.
Yeah, I think we should have
Pro-choice on this side. Pro-life on
vaccinated
this side.
section, not vaccinated. Maybe 2 tables. If you guys are even getting together
Oh,
this
that's
year.
the
Maybe
thing.
last year it didn't happen
I
for
think
you guys.
families are actually not getting together if like certain members aren't vaccinated. That's like a real thing.
No, I think that was last year. I think this year people
Lightened up.
Also, like, there's more information out about the vaccines now that maybe people might be more accepting of others who did not
Hopefully.
get it.
Well,
maybe they're all getting together for Thanksgiving, but at 2 separate tables.
you know, I personally, I'm hosting. I'll be having 2 tables: the pro-choice table and the pro-life table. Just got to divide the country even more.
Well, why? I mean, would you rather have like 2 echo? I guess this is a great question.
Well, no, if
Great
we wanted
combo
to
starter.
stimulate real
would you
conversation.
rather have 2 echo chambers? Is that more interesting to you and more enjoyable, or 1 debate table, mock trial?
No, that's true, but it's not. Thanksgiving is not about enjoyable conversation. It's about getting through it.
It is about getting through it, but like personally, what I find enjoyable is a little ideological sparring.
Okay, like for me, when people start like going off like conversations about like really hot button issues, like I have to die. I absolutely have to die. I have to burn down my house. Like it's just, for me, nothing ruins like a nice gathering more than like an intellectual debate.
I like hearing both sides. Like, and some like
By the way, in theory, me too. Like I actually won't make a decision like on a subject based on like things. I want to actually like hear from experts on both sides, and then I'll come to my own conclusion. Like,
and by the way, but that's the thing. Like, I don't just want to hear from experts. Like, of course, like having factual information matters, but I also want to hear like how people feel about things.
Yeah, no, I'm a very rational person, but like I don't want to have those conversations at holiday meals.
No, okay, but so is it that you don't want to have them because you don't want to chime in, or you can't even like witness it?
No, I don't want to ruin the night. And like honestly, seeing 2 people like in my family or like my friends like going at it over like a really sensitive topic, like I will die. I will die like of shame. Like I don't know, it makes me really uncomfortable. And that's just one thing about me people don't realize. Like I'm actually very conflict averse, but I don't give off that vibe because I'm like really extroverted and stuff. But
and you like talk a big game on the podcast. You're like, oh, I'll fuck your shit up.
Yeah. But when I say I'm fucking your shit up, that means I'm running into my room.
Yeah.
I'm not like that.
That's really funny. Yeah, I hope that, you know, it's, well, at the very least, if it is a conflict-filled evening, hopefully it's entertaining for you, dear reader.
Just sit back, grab the popcorn, and enjoy.
Grab a drink. Yeah. So hopefully you can steer the conversation toward greener pastures. And I think something that a lot of people are talking about, because it just happened, it's a big story, is FTX.
Yeah.
So in a nutshell, this is what I've learned about FTX and SBF. FTX was, I guess no longer is, a crypto exchange. Now, the way that I understand that now is that it was pretty much like Robinhood.
Coinbase.
But for buying... Coinbase, for buying crypto. I didn't know what Coinbase was. I only heard of like Gemini.
So Coinbase and Gemini are like the most popular apps to download to start. Like they take money from your bank, and then you can use that money to invest in crypto. And it's like you see the market. It's basically Robinhood. It's like a stock app, but instead of stocks, you're trading crypto.
Right. And you can exchange your currencies on there. So you can go from like Bitcoin to Ethereum.
Yeah.
I think SBF got into it in 2017. He's only 30 years old, mind you. And I think in the last few years, a lot of other smaller crypto companies, either were going out of business or whatever. And so he kind of like aggregated a ton of companies, over 100, to be part of the FTX ecosystem. It was one of like the biggest names in crypto. They had huge obviously everyone saw Tom and Giselle, Shaq. They're the name of the Miami Heat arena.
Yes.
The FTX arena. And I just saw today Miami-Dade is petitioning to change the name of their arena.
I think that's best.
It reminds me of Crypto.com arena in LA that we reported.
Yeah, like what's important to note here, it's like this was like a very prestigious brand. This is like Chase of crypto. Like it was very well respected. It wasn't this like random ass. It was like one of the top platforms. It was presumed that people presumed that it was like a safe place to input your banking info and put your money in, and that it wasn't like a scam. It was like putting money in Chase. And
it was endorsed by like the biggest Silicon Valley plastic surgery. I always
Silicon Valley is Beverly Hills, but ching.
It was endorsed by the biggest wigs that's in Silicon Valley, people who, funded Google and PayPal. They were all about SBF and FTX. In the Common Sense thing that I read, they had like a former piece on SBF when everyone was like glowing, obsessed with him. The firm is called Sequoia, and they had like their internal chat where they were like talking when they were first introduced to SBF, and like the people were writing like, oh my God, I love this guy, like coolest founder. The piece has since been deleted.
No, it's really embarrassing.
Which is another like dishonest thing. Like, just issue a correction now.
Right. And so SBF is Sam Bankman-Fried or something.
Bankman-Fried.
So that's his name, and then FTX is his company. So in case you're confused by the acronyms.
So the company was based in the Bahamas because a lot of cryptocurrencies like operate offshore. That wasn't like a huge red flag, but it also allowed him to get away with a lot of things that wouldn't fly in a more regulated sphere. Mm-hmm. And then in about 1 week, like first it started with, so I guess all along he was like Ponzi scheming, paying his creditor, like, people who were taking money, who were earning money, he was like paying them with new money, typical Ponzi type stuff.
He was also like taking the money that the company had like in their possession was money that people had invested. So it really wasn't money that belonged to the company. But then like SBF would take the money from the company that didn't even belong to him and like loan out to his other companies. He had some research company. They gave him like $1 billion. He had taken personal loans out, bought real estate using company money, like crazy, huge illegal violations.
Right. And there was an article that was coming out that was like highlighting some of the discrepancies within FTX, which then caused their stock to plummet. And then also there was at one point a co-founder. Let me just get his name because his name's going to be important when you watch the movie. His name is... Hold on. Oh, Changpeng Zhao. Okay. He was the co-founder with SBF, and sometime recently he was ousted from the company, and SBF paid him out in his own cryptocurrency. I think it's called FTT. So when this article came out, and then his former partner was like disgruntled. So when this article came out, and to fuck the company even further, so this price goes down, and then the former partner dumped all of his FTT currency, and he had so much because he was paid out in that currency that it goes down even further. Mm-hmm. And which then SBF like went out to his investors looking to raise more money, fell on deaf ears,
Filed for
He
bankruptcy.
filed for bankruptcy in all of his like 100 companies that make up FTX.
Yeah, like I think the overall valuation of his companies was like somewhere around $30 billion. And now he doesn't have a dollar.
Poof.
And
Gone.
what's so sad about that is like, whatever, companies go out all the time. But the money that the company lost was not the company's. It was the people's money. People who just downloaded the app and invested and wanted to, make a couple bucks, or, some people have their savings in crypto. And of course, it's never guaranteed that your crypto is going to make money, but it is guaranteed that if it loses money, it's because the stock went down, not because the company that's hosting your platform stole it from you.
Right. So, yeah, to think of it as Robinhood makes me understand
It's
it better.
helpful.
So, if that were the case and everybody who's been like trading on Robinhood lost all of their money, like that's so fucking crazy. So there are going to be class action lawsuits again. Again, Sam, he was arrested in the Bahamas, and who even knows what's to come from there.
Well, if a movie is to come, I think we should play the Hollywood treatment of who's going to play SBF. He's kind of this like quirky looking, curly haired guy.
Yes, and that's a great combo starter for your table. But here's a good fact about a potential movie. So the guy who wrote the book, The Big Short, his name is Michael Lewis. He actually was already embedded with SBF for the last 6 months, like kind of following him around to pen a book telling the inside story of like, I think the juggernaut that was FTX. So he had a front row seat to this whole thing, and he will be writing a book about it, which will then become a movie. I think CAA has already acquired the rights.
Good.
No. And a CAA agent revealed in an email to potential buyers of the movie rights. He said, the story has become too big for us to wait. It's going to focus on the rivalry between SBF and the Binance CEO, Changpeng Zhao.
I find it so interesting how like so many times there are like successful people who hire like writers or filmmakers to like join them on the journey, and whenever like it's like the second that the filmmaker or the documentarian like joins them, everything goes to shit.
Does everything go to shit, or just like something crazy happens? It could be something
Either.
like positive, but I
mean like
think that's
negative.
I feel like it's also just a symptom of like being a big dog. Like big things happen, good and bad.
The David Dobrik documentary. That is something that's like what came to mind when you were talking about the book thing, because Casey Neistat finally like did an interview about it, just talking about the documentary. It premiered at a bunch of film festivals, but it's not like available to watch yet. He was doing like this big documentary on David Dobrik, like the biggest YouTuber on the planet, and I think like a couple months into filming is when that Business Insider article with allegations came out about him, and they filmed the whole thing. Casey was like, I'm not going to not film this.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Now it's interesting.
Fodder.
Right.
Yeah. So you could share all of this so far at the table and then say, who do you think should play SBF? Oh, also, before we get into that, have you seen the stuff about like the company culture and like the girlfriend and like the polyamory and the drugs? A few interesting things. So there's this article in the New York Post, and it talks about like the company culture, how it's like kind of like, it's called partner swapping, pills, and playing games inside Sam Bankman-Fried's FTX party house.
Yikes.
So they had a penthouse in the Bahamas where they would pull all-nighters while high on amphetamines at their retreat.
What's amphetamines? Like Adderall?
Amphetamines is like Adderall. And I think that Sam had even said, or Sam is still tweeting right now.
Yes.
And he said, stimulants when you wake up, sleeping pills if you need them to sleep. That was the formula for FTX's success. But what I found really interesting was that it was alleged on the Twitter feed of Autism Capital that SBF used a drug called Emsom in a patch form. It's a methamphetamine derivative used on label to treat symptoms of Parkinson's disease and is known to increase energy. According to CoinDesk, Bankman-Fried was possibly suffering side effects of Emsom, which include compulsive gambling. So it sounds like this patch is being used in the exact way that we were talking about last week, like a patch that just like gives you the energy to be a mogul.
What's methamphetamine? Is that meth?
Methamphetamine is, this is such a great question. I think methamphetamine is Adderall.
Crystal
a
meth.
synthetic drug with more rapid and lasting effects than amphetamine, used illegally as a stimulant and as a
Got it.
prescription drug to treat narcolepsy and maintain blood pressure.
So it's like a
So it
really
can
crazy
treat
ass
ADHD.
Adderall.
I just kind of like think they're the same thing.
You know, I think probably it sounds like methamphetamine is like a lot stronger than amphetamine.
Yes, today there's only one legal meth product.
Got it.
Desoxin.
Got it. Okay, so he was
Amphetamine
doing
would
crazy
be-
drugs.
Crazy drugs, and there's a patch for increased energy, but
So-
it could cause a gambling addiction, question mark?
Yeah, I mean, that sounds like putting out like information so that when the time comes and he pleads like guilty by reason of, you know, something, like he has proof, like I couldn't help it. I was having a side effect and it's like a side effect of gambling. Like that's, I know, like side effects are like headaches, not like going to the casino.
Yeah. That's true. And in one, there's a picture of Sam at his desk, and like in the background, you can see the M-Som thing, which
Oh my God.
which is why people like assume that's why he was taking it, and for the unintended benefit of increased energy, limitless style.
Limitless style. Okay, so can we please play the Hollywood game?
Yes, now it's time. Everyone's saying Jonah Hill.
Oh, duh. I couldn't.
Who were you gonna say?
I didn't have anyone. I wanted to hear who you had to say because he doesn't immediately come to mind. I mean, you just like need the hair, but you can add the hair.
Yeah.
So he just needs to be like a really talented 30-year-old actor, Miles Teller. But he's
Or
too
like
handsome.
Seth Rogen. Someone that's like broy, like
Yeah, he's not like conventionally suave looking or handsome. He looks like just a
no,
regular.
don't do that
nerdy-
to Miles Teller.
No, he looks like a regular nerdy guy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
my-
his girlfriend, have you seen the girlfriend?
No, what does she look like?
A regular nerdy girl, but apparently like they were like dicking down in
The
FTX.
thing is, nerds get wild. Like, you just think they're nerds. Oh, they read books and sit in their house. No, nerds are like horny and like wild.
Yeah, she had served as the CEO of Alameda Research, which was that research
company.
company, and it was founded by Sam. She's a huge Harry Potter fan, and she scoffed at those who don't take drugs in a 2021 tweet where she said, quote, "Nothing like regular amphetamine use to make you appreciate how dumb a lot of normal non-medicated experience is."
Me when I'm on drugs. Like, that's insane.
Literally.
Not her shaming everyone.
Her shame. Can you see the chat that I sent you?
Oh, I didn't
Oh,
realize
you're
you
not
sent
by your computer. Oh, wait,
I'm
I
on my
have text
phone.
on my computer now, so let me send you this link so you can see. Because she's not what you would expect as like a polyamorous
Girly.
drug
I could just Google it.
sex party queen.
I'll just Google it. SBF girlfriend.
No, just click the article that I just sent you in your text because I have text on my computer now.
Wow, welcome to the 21st century.
And only because my phone wouldn't turn on yesterday morning and I just like needed to reach people. So I don't like having text
wow,
on my
this
computer.
penthouse in the Bahamas is gorgeous.
Yeah, you should go with TPG.
Literally. Wait. That's the girlfriend?
That's the girlfriend.
She looks 9 years old.
Yeah.
I thought it was his daughter.
No, that's his girlfriend. That's his former girlfriend, who also like
Who
works
pops
with him.
pills and steals
Who's
money.
like popping pills and popping pussy.
No, I don't believe you.
No, that's why I had to send.
I
you the
scrolled
link.
right past it. I was like, I don't care what his kid looks like. Wait, help.
Who should play her?
But I feel like maybe like that's the New York Post being shady. Let me look up one more picture of her.
Just search her name.
Caroline Ellison. Oh my God, every fucking news outlet is using this picture.
Because it's jarring.
Jackie?
She looks so little.
I swear to God, it's the only picture on Google Images. Oh wait, I found a different
have
one.
a conspiracy.
Yeah,
I
she
think
doesn't exist.
I don't think she exists. I think she's like a generated
Yeah.
AI bot.
Oh
wait,
my
here's
God.
a picture of her at a desk.
I see that one too.
Fox Business.
Yes, yes.
Wait,
Oh
here's
my
one.
God,
I
wait.
found a different one.
I found one where they put makeup on her. They took this picture. Wait, look what I'm about to send you. Somebody online took the picture of her and like glamorized it. Look, I just
Okay,
texted it
I
to
saw
you.
I saw one where they made her into a piece of art, like the Mona Lisa.
Oh, I saw that one too.
Okay, I'm looking
Like,
through my
is she
text.
guilty? Like,
Oh my God, they did Face App.
yeah, yeah.
Is she guilty? I don't know. I mean, you can't pull off this sort of thing by yourself.
I know.
But there's a bunch of people who work for him and who were also like
reaping the benefits.
Popping pills in the Bahamas
and poppin'
Albany. And Albany. Now, I couldn't figure out if that was Albany, New York.
Oh, shit goes down in Albany. That Nexium cult?
No, I'm sorry. It's Albany, Bahamas.
Oh. But shit does go down in Albany because there's like so much wide open space. The Nexium cult
and
was thriving
there's
there.
politics going down there.
Right.
Oh, and that's
you can
one of
grease
the
palms.
That's also what people are like super finding very curious about this whole thing, is that he was the second biggest donor. SBF was the second biggest donor to the Democrat Party. So he gave like $40 million.
Is that stolen money?
Of this not his money.
Does that mean the Democratic Party would have to give it back? Like, because they're doing a full FBI investigation.
I don't know how it works with clawbacks, like what the statute is.
But it's like people's money. It's really sad.
Yeah, it's really sad.
Also, what people were, when I was going for research on, so after this whole thing blew up, the New York Times did a profile on him that was like weirdly complimentary and like didn't really like make any accusations about him, you know, stealing money from people. So people were really upset about that.
No, but the New York Times is like really, like, they're really smart about who they go after. Like, it's really, they wouldn't dare touch someone who's done actual wrongdoing.
No, yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So I feel like I pretty much know everything about FTX right now.
No, I feel like I know nothing, but enough to fudge my way through a conversation.
Yeah, totally. I can't wait to like talk to some people about it tomorrow.
But I would also just be like wanting to learn from others. So like I would want to be involved in the conversation, but I would also like be taking notes.
Yeah. I could learn from others.
Yes. So that is all the FTX news that we're capable of giving you.
Yeah. I feel like it was pretty good.
I feel like it was pretty good. Like enough to honestly enough to get you by. Like
yeah.
it's the Spark Notes version.
100%.
Okay, next story is so exciting, and I think this is fun for the whole family, literally, because Scrabble has added a ton of new words to their acceptable dictionary of words.
By the way, I didn't even know that they had to do that, because wouldn't they just go by the dictionary?
They partner with Merriam-Webster on this, but you know that Merriam does
new yearly words
sometimes too.
Yeah.
So here's the sitch, Scrabble stands. Your combos around the board are about to get more interesting with about 500 new words and variations added to the game's official dictionary. Words such as stan, sitch, convo, zidonk.
Wait. That goes against Scrabble rules because the number one rule of Scrabble is no abbreviations, and sitch and convo are abbreviations.
Obviously, Scrabble has no scruples.
Zero.
Because they're introducing these words. What does zidonk mean?
I think it means like your ass.
No, zidonk. Let me Google it.
Oh, I have no idea.
Oh, it's a type of... Oh my God, don't tell me it's it's a combination of a zebra and a donkey.
Oh, cute. That's a conjunction. Also not typically available in Scrabble. So I'm feeling confused.
And faux hawk. So out this month, the add-ons in the 7th edition of the official Scrabble Players Dictionary join more than 100,000 words of 2 to 8 letters. The book was last updated in 2018 through a long-standing partnership with Hasbro and Merriam-Webster. Define stalker for me. The new words include some trademarks gone generic. Dumpster, for one. I guess that was a word like Kleenex that's just become a ubiquitous word. It was once a brand name. Some shorthand words like guac. And a delicious display of more verb variations like torrented, torrenting, adulted, adulting.
Ugh, I fucking hate that word.
Added and adding, as in don't at me, bro. So I'm sorry, like these people are butchering the English language.
No, I agree. I think that Scrabble has been like a cornerstone of literature and language and linguistics, and this is really a step down for them. And guac is an abbreviation.
This is really frustrating. And of course it sets terrible precedent because now you can abbreviate any word and you can show that there's precedent.
Yeah, I'm not into this at all. I like when they add new words to the dictionary, like words that were either slang or just words that people have started using so frequently, even if they're made up, like stan. I like when Merriam-Webster validates those words by actually putting them in the dictionary, but making up some shit and calling it a word doesn't count.
Yeah. They also turned verb into a verb, so you can play verbed and verbing. Fucking weird. And compound words are on the rise.
You can't just turn a word into a verb. That's not a thing.
Wait, compound words are on the rise in the book with like new words put together. Dead name, page view, fintech.
Isn't that a
allyship,
hyphen? That's a hyphen.
What? Allyship, baby moon, and subtweet. So are the uns, such as unfollow, unsub, and unmute.
Okay, fine. Unmute and unfollow. Yes. Unsub is a abbreviation. Subscribe.
This is a fucking mess.
This is a mess. This is so embarrassing for Miriam and her entire Webster family.
Honestly. Oh, also they added bay. Embarrassing.
But that's fine with me. Like, it is a word people use. A cringe word.
It is, but like Scrabble should have standards. And by the way, if you were gonna add bay, like you're 5 years late,
yes,
and now you just look like a fucking loser. Maybe if you had a business, you would know what it's like.
I would put bay on with stan. Like, those are new words that were created. That's fine with me.
You know what else they added? What's my new favorite word?
I don't know.
Heige.
But see, that's not English.
Right. That sets a bad precedent because now I can use any word in any language.
Right.
And also, Heige is actually pronounced Huga. So many people always tell me that. I'm sorry. But it says Heige.
You know, I know.
So yeah, now all of a sudden,
Right.
any word. Give me a word.
Yeah, I'm not into this at all. I feel like Scrabble's kind of like lowering their standards for what they're considering words.
Yes. So I think this is a great conversation topic for your Thanksgiving table because you can say, did you guys know? First of all, you can come in with fresh facts. Who doesn't know that?
Facts.
Did you guys know? Oh my God. I just like had a reference in my head that just took me back.
Okay.
Catapulted me. Did you guys know that like Scrabble is adding new words to the Scrabble dictionary, such as these words? And then you could say, what do you guys think? Like, is this good? Is this progress for Scrabble? Like, should Scrabble remain Scrabble?
Because I'm all for Scrabble, like entering the 21st century, but I think there needs to be limits and I draw the line at abbreviations.
Yeah, I draw the line at unsub.
Agreed.
Really disappointing. And adulting, like,
ugh. There are certain words that like the millennials invented that like the millennials should really be punished for, and adulting is one of them.
Yeah,
there's a few. They're not coming to mind, but like those types of words, you know,
that are just so fucking
cringe.
Oh my God, adulting.
Hate adulting today. Stop.
No, like
hate
anyone
you today.
Who's an adult
wouldn't use that word.
Yeah,
totally.
Are you ready for our next story? That's fucking disgusting.
Oh my God, what?
The Beyond Meat factory is riddled with mold and other dirty conditions, leaked documents show.
Yeah.
One of Beyond Meat's key factories was reportedly riddled with mold, bacteria, and other health-related concerns, according to leaked evidence provided by a former employee. A leaked internal document revealed Beyond Meat products manufactured at the plant had tested positive for the harmful bacteria Listeria at least 11 times in the second half of 2021 and the first half of this year, Bloomberg reported on Monday. Listeria is extremely dangerous for pregnant women.
Oh.
The document was reportedly provided by a former employee. Yeah, Listeria is why we can't eat deli meat, like all of these things where bacteria can grow. Because of Listeria, meanwhile, it's just popping off at the Beyond Meat factory.
Were you eating Beyond Meat when you were pregnant?
I wasn't not, but I don't know if I ever did.
Right, you weren't restricting it, but you don't know if you like came in contact with it.
Yeah. The document was reportedly provided by a former employee who was worried about conditions in the plant, which is located within an hour of Philly. 2 other ex-employees confirmed that bacteria had been found at the facility. The outlet also obtained internal documents stating that various contaminants, including string, metal, wood, and plastic, had been found in Beyond Meat products produced at the plant as recently as December.
Oh my
Bloomberg
God.
has photos, by the way.
I saw some of the photos. They're really fucking disgusting. I don't eat Beyond Meat, so I don't feel affected by this, but like a lot of people do, and they serve it in restaurants. Like, it's gotten so popular, more popular than Impossible. And this is not okay.
It's not okay. I'm done. I don't care if they burn all the factories to the ground and start a new one. Like, I would never trust people who thought that was okay. And also, it's not until there's like a whistleblower to show what's going on.
I know.
Also, like, where are the government agencies that are supposed to be like regulating what people consume? FDA. Like, get your fucking ass up and work.
No, literally, isn't that the point of this agency?
Mm-hmm.
To administer what's being...
To administer food and drugs.
I also... No, I can't. This is... I mean, again, I don't feel like nauseous because I've never actually... I don't think ever had Beyond. I've had maybe Impossible.
No, but you did at Brett and Jax's wedding.
I did?
Ben had ordered a burger at the restaurant and you tried it.
How the fuck do you know that?
You told me.
So I had what? Where?
Ben ordered, I don't know if it was Impossible or Beyond, at a restaurant in Kentucky when you guys were there for Jax and Brittany's wedding. And you tried it.
What restaurant? We didn't even we went to the wedding and went home.
That's just what that's just what came up in the bank.
Your bank is interessant.
Ask Ben.
I will.
Can you call him and ask him?
No, but what I can do is let me go look at my pictures from Kentucky, because
you do that while I try and get Ben on the phone.
Oh my God! Okay,
and ask him if he had an Impossible burger in Kentucky.
Yeah, ask him. Where's Kentucky on the map? That's how I always search in my phone for photos.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, here, yeah, Lexington. Here. I had Raising Cane's. I went to the mall. I went to the engagement party. Oh, we ate at this steakhouse. You think Ben had it there? With Shep. Oh, but it looks so cute. Fun fact, I didn't have any clothes at their wedding. I didn't realize there was I only brought a wedding dress. I didn't realize there was a rehearsal dinner and a day of. So I went to the mall and bought a whole new wardrobe from Forever 21. So there's one meal that I ate.
If Ben didn't pick up, we'll never know.
Okay, I really don't think that I did, but I looked so cute at Brittany and Jax's wedding.
I'm so happy for you.
My dress was snatched. Yeah. Well, thanks for bringing that up.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
Are you ready for... Oh, so Beyond Meat, goodbye, see you never. If you guys have it,
hopefully you're not sitting at a Thanksgiving dinner eating Beyond Turkey.
Right. And of course, nobody really wants to hear about meat, contaminants at their Thanksgiving meal. But if you guys are really desperate for something to say, be this food looks delicious and uncontaminated. Unlike
I'm so glad there's no lidocaine in this turkey.
Listeria, correct.
Whatever.
Yeah. And I mean, now I don't even want to say this because then I'm sure there'll be a report, but I love Gardein. That's my fake meat of choice.
Okay, good to know.
So... if you know anything, if you work at Gardein and you've seen some shit, just let me know.
Blow that whistle.
Blow that whistle. Next up, we've got some bad news for young people.
Again?
Okay, let me talk about this and then I want to say something else. 1 billion young people could be at risk of hearing loss, and here's how they can protect themselves. So more than 1 billion young people across the globe could be at risk of hearing loss due to unsafe listening practices. A study published in BMJ Global Health Journal found that people between the ages of 12 and 35 are using listening devices like smartphones and MP3 players at ear-damaging decibel levels.
That makes sense.
They say that the rise in reported hearing loss in young people is real. They said, let's be honest, everybody associates hearing loss with the elderly, but when you look at the clinical data, 1 in 4 working age adults has tinnitus.
Wow.
That's a hearing health issue. Tinnitus, or ringing in the ears, is triggered by whiplash, head injuries, excessive earwax, or loud sounds. It can also be the effect of some medications. Wow, that's so interesting because I was having...
Are you 1 in 4?
Ringing... No, I was just having ringing a few months ago, but I was taking a new medication and I only noticed it on the days that I took it, and that's crazy that it said some medications. So I feel really seen. But this would just be a reminder, one, to keep your volume not all the way up on your headphones. And there are apps that will tell you what the acceptable listening levels are.
There's also a setting on your iPhone that you can put on, am I listening too loud? They'll notify you.
Yeah, but it reminded me of 2 things. One, how a lot of studies are complete fucking garbage.
And they're fear-mongering.
No, and it's we talked to 10 people and this is how they felt. So it's 1 in 10 people have this,
Right.
I remember reading that on NPR. I read a while ago, this study that was Kindle usage before bed can disturb sleep. And I was like, excuse-moi. And I clicked it, and it was literally, they spoke to 10 people. Some had read on Kindles, and they didn't sleep good that night. Like, if you read the fine print, like, the study is nonsense.
You have to talk to 100 people, and 10 of them have to have problems.
Which reminds me of another thing that just came out this week. A recent study claimed that red meat, which has been kind of like defamed over the last few years, like people saying red meat like has really bad. Yeah, no, people say you shouldn't eat too much red meat.
Yeah, they say you shouldn't eat too much, but like a healthy dose of it is really good for your heart.
No, like there's been anti-red meat
campaigns,
stuff out there, and it came out recently that like all of those studies were not anything worth looking at.
I just want to say I never trust to study. Like I just feel like they're always like pushing an agenda. I really do feel that way.
They're just skewed, and it's like, who's paying for the study? What do they sell? What are they trying to sell?
This study that came out that said a Kind bar is actually more fattening than a Snickers will and forever in perpetuity be my favorite study, because I think that's the funniest thing of all time.
Also, you don't need a study. Like, just look at the back of the label. Like,
100%.
The amount of calories that those bars have, a lot of them, like so many, Zach buys them, stuff like that all the time. They're teeny tiny bars that are like 150 or 200 calories. I'm like, have a Snickers.
No, totally. Like one thing about me is,
and they taste like ass.
I've never had a Kind bar, but when I heard that they had as many calories as a Snickers, I did have a Snickers, and it was fabulous.
Yeah, I don't like Kind bars because they're too chewy and they give me a headache from all the chomping.
I feel that 100%.
Yeah, like I actually won't eat one because I'm not in the mood for a migraine. Then I have to take my medication, then I'll get tinnitus.
Not the tinnitus.
It's these companies keeping us sick.
That's what it is. It's Big Pharma.
They want us to get sick and they want us to stay sick.
Big Pharma, vertical integration.
That's why you have to purge yourself of all of it.
100%.
Live amongst the nature. Hunt your own food.
Yeah, that's what we should do.
Yeah, I can't even handle a raw chicken.
No,
I'm hunting shit.
Actually, Ben is making our turkey for tomorrow, and his mom dropped off the turkey, and I'm like, "Are you going to take like all the things out?" He's like, "No, it has it taken out." I'm like, "No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't, Ben."
Except once cooked, everything is much more palatable.
Of course.
Even some gizzardy gizzards.
Sipping scissored in my ride. Like a
in
G6.
my ride, like gizzards.
Yeah.
That would be a good song to sing at the Thanksgiving table if things are really bad.
Yeah, if morale gets really low.
Okay, I think we're ready for our fifth and final story, which is actually, I think, our most provocative of all the stories.
Well, since it is a Patreon and people don't yell at me for singing on here, it's the
thing.
final story. Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Do-do. It's the final story. Get those gizzards and sip them. Yeah. Gotta get out the gizzards.
I just feel like if you take anything away from this episode of like the energy that you should be bringing to your Thanksgiving table, it's like nothing matters. Like, fuck it up, sis.
So true. Nothing matters.
You know what I mean? Just like do your worst. You'll be home in no time.
Yeah, and everyone will forget about it by next year.
And you'll have had a good time.
Get drunk.
Do something crazy.
Get drunk. Take your top off. Get lit.
And maybe like bring up a divisive conversation and leave the table.
Ooh, yeah, like just throw a flame and bounce.
Bounce, because they won't be like, oh, she left. We don't have to talk about this anymore. Like, it will have.
It'll be too late.
Life of its own.
It'll be too late.
But our fifth and final story is some interesting sexual health news. Men are using condoms less, even as syphilis and other STDs surge. So I don't think there's any better dinner table fodder than talking about men's sexual health and syphilis. And that's like what everyone wants to hear.
I agree.
So here's the info. The basket of free ultra-thin and studded condoms stayed full to the brim. Oh, this is like a story time.
No,
by the
they're
Washington
getting
Post.
really imaginative.
about how no one's picking up condoms. But the facts remain is that condom use is down, but STD use is up. I imagine the two are related. The U.S. recorded nearly 2.5 million cases of chlamydia, gonorrhea, and syphilis in 2021, more than doubling in the past 2 decades, according to preliminary data from the CDC. About half of the new infections last year were in young people between the ages of 15 and 24. Men who have sex with men contract infections at higher rates than heterosexuals because they're more likely to have multiple recent partners, and it's easier for sexually transmitted diseases to circulate in a smaller network of people, says the Washington Post.
Not the Washington Post being homophobic.
Right?
No, that was like a really fucking unnecessary, like, all right, chill. Like, literally chill. That was like, not me, like, literally getting offended. That was like, just so fucking unnecessary.
It was it was like offensive.
Yeah, I was like, okay, thanks. Like, nobody, the Washington Post, gays are more susceptible because they have multiple partners. Like, shut up.
Nobody, the Washington Post. Gays have multiple partners.
Gays deserve no rights.
What's the quote from Vicky on the mountain?
Vicky?
Vicky Gumbelson.
Oh, I have not been with multiple partners.
That's the gays after reading this article.
So by the way, 15 to 24 makes sense because that's like really young, and like, you know, guys will be like, oh, I can't fit into a condom, and the girl's like, wow, really? And then you like turn 25 and you realize like, I can fit this fucking condom around my head, okay? Like, it can fit around your little penis.
Right. And I feel like most of the people who are listening to our podcast are a little bit older, so they have their contraception and things in check. But we really need to get in front of some young people and just give them a few helpful tips. Like, one, justice for condoms. Like, they're tried and true.
Old school.
And they're old school. They cover the gamut of most things that you need to worry about on the physical front.
Health, all of it.
Yes.
But also keep in mind, they're only 99% effective.
Yeah. But you can tell when... you can look at, like, you can afterwards test them to make sure there wasn't a hole, which is what, like, you should do if you're very concerned. But I was going to say, they get a really bad rap. But
They do.
Wrap it up. How about that?
Ooh, I like that.
No glove, no love.
Ooh, my God.
If the glove does not fit, you must acquit.
Yes. Go again.
Oh, shit. What else do they call a condom?
I don't know.
No hubba hubba without a little rubba rubba. Why aren't I teaching sex ed?
Oh my God, I would literally pay $4 million to sit in the back of a classroom while you teach. You're literally Josie Geller with the condoms and the cucumbers.
Yeah, no, I think I should be teaching sex ed. Like, these people and kids, like, I don't want to say kids, young adults need to be wearing condoms.
No, I know. And I think like a lot of young people are so focused on not getting pregnant that they forget about the other parts of sexual health, which is STD. So it's like they have an IUD or they're on the pill and they're like, oh, I don't need a condom. Like, you actually still do.
Yeah, yes, exactly. And that's why condoms are so great, because you can two birds, one stone it.
Right. You don't need your IUD if you just use a condom. And like, if I know we don't have younger listeners, but if anyone young is listening and like any guy's like, I can't fit into a condom, like, let me just tell you, like, they can. Like, I have seen videos of people on the internet who put their entire bodies into a condom.
No, and it's like, you can't fit into a condom, but you're going to fit into this puss? I don't think so.
I don't think so. Yeah,
Stay
it's like a
away.
lie. It's a lie. It's a lie. It's a lie. Because they just want to be skin to skin with you because you're so beautiful, but they don't have that privilege unless they're married to you.
Yeah, and they'll say like it doesn't feel as good.
But like it does.
Shut up.
It literally does.
It does. It's fine.
It's fine. So that's the takeaway. Wear a condom.
And
the
they make
Washington
really big
Post is
condoms.
homophobic.
They make really big condoms. And I'm sure if there was like a man who had the world's largest penis and he couldn't fit into a condom, like I would read about it on the Daily Mail.
No,
and
like,
I've yet to see such a
That
thing.
guy from the meme, you know, like they're the meme of the guy's big penis. All right, maybe he can't wear a condom. Sure. But I've met, you know, I know none of these people have penises as big as that guy.
Right.
If only.
Right.
So wrap it up. That's a wrap.
That is what we want you to take into this holiday season. And especially as like the Wednesday night before Thanksgiving is kind of like a turn, like, I'm sorry, you use turn as a negative. It's like a turned up.
No, I can use it as a positive too, but yes, you're right. It's more often than not negative.
It's an evening where a lot of people get very turned up for a very long time. I think it's honestly up until you get married or start having kids, like, because you go to your hometown, everybody's home for the holidays, we're all home Wednesday night, and we're all going to the local bar. It's like Romeo and Michelle's high school reunion every year.
I do want to say, like, one thing that like sucks about like living in the same city I was born in is like we don't have that, you know?
No.
There's not like one local bar everyone from high school goes to. So I feel like people talk about it so much on the internet. I feel like it's become like a little romanticized, and I don't have that.
That's a good concept for a book, The Wednesday Before Thanksgiving.
Yes. I love that.
So if you guys are in that situation tonight, you're getting together with your home friends, you haven't seen them all year, you guys are going to go to your old stomping grounds. I hope you have an amazing time.
And I hope you wear a condom.
And that if you see, your high school boyfriend or someone you always wanted to get down with, that you wrap it up.
Wrap it up. So hopefully that was like remotely helpful. I think between all of that, like, you can make combos happen. Plus, between all of the content we've given you over the years on the toast. And if you are listening to this episode while like your family's in the living room and we are about to end the episode, like, let us just give you a message of support. You can get through this. Just zone it out. Fixate on the TV or something. You're gonna be fine.
Protect your peace, disassociate. Someone else is at this table, not you. You're watching from above, laughing at everyone, and you'll be home soon enough, and this will be a distant memory.
Watch from above. Thank you guys so much. We have 2 more episodes coming at you this month. One is going to be kind of like a long-awaited vlog from your girl. I'm going to do a full hair tutorial. How I get my gorgeous hair. I get questions about it all the time, so I figured why not put it on the Patreon.
I love that for you. And then we'll do our holiday gift guide either this month or next month. We had one other episode idea that we just wrote down today. So It's going to be a great end of November and rest of December between all of our holiday content, our years in review. We love those episodes. So that's all in store for December.
Thank you guys so much for listening. Thanks for being Patreon members, and we'll see you on the next one.
Bye.